Right. We gotta talk about some absolute bullshit that's going on in the scene right now. One of the first signs of the Saudi Arabian merger with Faceit and ESL is that now Leadify, for those who don't know, is a third-party stats website and progress tracking website. Faceit is now putting them behind a paywall to access demos and analyze demos. In a short TLDR from Leadify, they estimate that Faceit wants to charge them 270,000 euros per year, and that they were given short notice. Now, on the other hand, Faceit does claim that they were given notice in July of 2023, and Leadify disputes this claim, so we have a lot of pointing figures going on. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. First of all, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Glitch Energy, GLYTCH.com. If you use code TSLGGS at checkout, you get 10% off your order. Supports content creators like me, supports our league, supports our teams. A shout out to Glitch Energy. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. So, Leadify, which is a free stats and demo reviewing website, recently made a post on Twitter where they, if I can find it, Faceit gave a short notice about a change to a paid model for downloading their match demos. This means Faceit matches won't be available while we work on a solution. They link to their blog. Their blog basically says Faceit is asking for 270,000 euros per year to download demos, and relatively in business terms, that's a fairly small amount, but for a company like Leadify, who does not charge their users for stats, for looking up their stats, they only charge for a automatic clipping service, and I think there's something else. I don't quite remember. I don't pay for Leadify, but currently, for those who haven't noticed, your Faceit demos are not being analyzed on Leadify, and there's a couple other sketchy things Faceit has done. They stated that this news came middle of last month, so relatively short notice, and now they're unable to process demos. So we come over to Twitter, and we see a tweet from Leadify, where they further explain their side of the story. They never wanted the issue to become public, but they've been constantly blackballed by Faceit. They refuse to communicate, and of course, Faceit takes this to Reddit, everybody's favorite place. And there was some back and forth on Reddit between Leadify and Faceit employee. But so let's get to the core of the issue here. Is this actually true? Is the reasons that they're putting a paywall on this reasonable? Well, at the surface level, you'd think, yeah, it costs money to store these demos and process them. You know, a fee should be required. You know, I don't know how many demos Leadify actually uses, so I obviously don't know the price per demo. But something that Reddit found, which was that a demo size in CSGO was 75 megabits, whereas after this most recent CS2 update, it is now 140 megabits. Whereas the Faceit employee, I believe, was it? I don't know if it was in this Reddit thread or not. Yep, here we go. With the CS2 February update, CS2 demos have tripled in size. Well, 75 megabits to 140 megabits is not tripling in size. Absolutely not. They are worried about the infrastructure of their company and the servers I assume that these demos are stored on. So they would like to charge rent, or well, a user's fee. Well, a small problem about that this Faceit employee failed to mention is that Faceit owns a competitor to Leadify called CS Stats. And I'm sure people use CS Stats. CS Stats, to me, Leadify and CS Stats are both incomplete. Some data is missing. CS Stats, I know, doesn't track how many matches I've actually played in CSGO. It was way off the count of how many matches I won versus played in CSGO because I'm a loser. But, so, CS Stats is owned by the ESL group and, which is in turn owned by the Saudi investment company. So, they are all under one banner and all under one roof. So, when directly they imply that, or they're directly put Leadify behind a paywall, CS Stats is not behind a paywall. So Leadify then becomes incomplete because besides matchmaking and Faceit, there are really no other top ranked match playing services for Counter-Strike. So now we get to the big issue that I saw when reading up on this article. Faceit and ESL, you're owned by the Saudi investment company. Well, Saudi investment group, whatever you want to call it. Piss on them. But you have money coming out your ass. You have money. Lots of it. Unlimited. As long as oil's pouring out of the ground, you have money. Why is it... Oop. Sorry, note. Actually, I went to your Twitter. Why is it that when a small company like Leadify, who is doing a good job and doing a more in-depth job than your stats tracking services, you put them behind a paywall, but you will not put your own brand under a paywall, so this looks like a terrible conflict of interest. Also, if your infrastructure is so poor where you cannot, where it costs you that much money to store these demos and services, you need to upgrade. And clearly, that investment money is not going to you. This is ridiculous. We are seeing some of the first signs of negativity towards this merger. You know, we all thought, ESCA, ESL, Faceit combining, that might be a good thing. But after playing a few seasons of Faceit, or ESCA League on Faceit, I can tell you that the platform is absolutely dog shit. It is not user-friendly in the slightest. We have had players who have been on the roster, but not in the match page. Admins won't answer. Matches forfeit. Had a match get forfeited, but given to the other team. You cannot add players reliably to your roster. There's always a glitch or something to this. This is ridiculous. For the amount of money you got bought for, and the amount of money backing you, you should have a service that is reliable. And you don't need to charge Leadify fucking 250 or 270,000 euros. Fuck that noise. That's a greedy power play trying to limit one of your competitors who actually does a very good job. And for those who don't know what Leadify looks like, this is what Leadify looks like. It breaks down all your stats. If you pay for this highlights package, which I of course don't, they give you some nice highlights. I think this is a free one I have. Yeah, see? Very nice. I didn't clip this at all. This was all this All-Star or All-Star program. But so, very nice, simple program. And it has helped me, in fact, realize that, oh shit, my aim's not so steady. Breaks down your aim into all these different categories and whatnot. So it helps your average player get better. Yeah, don't ignore the stats, I bet, on a slump. But face it, fix your shit. ESL, get your head out of your ass. Saudis, give them some fucking money then if you're not gonna give it to them, so we can keep Scene alive, keep this out of a monopoly. We could do better. We could do better. Peace.